Joining us on Times Now is Senior IAS Shri Shyam Jagannathan, who's currently serving as the Director General of Maritime Administration. He is also the Additional Secretary to the Government of India. Many thanks to you, Mr. Jagannathan, for joining in on Times Now and for taking out your precious time. Let's begin with our focus on Indian seafarers. How many Indian seafarers and Indian flagged vessels are currently in the Persian Gulf and in the Strait of Hormuz region? What is the DGMA's real-time assessment of their safety at the moment?
Firstly, as of the 19th of July, 1800 hours, we have a total of 6 Indian flagged vessels which are in the Strait of Hormuz. And this is west of Strait of Hormuz, of which there are a total of 125 Indian seafarers on board. 6 of these vessels have been trading in the Persian Gulf region, whereas 2 of the vessels are awaiting a transit. There are other vessels which are trading east of the Strait of Hormuz. And the security assessment, as you're aware, presently the transits are not happening. In fact, certain vessels have been hit in the morning today, 3 specific tankers where there is Indian crew on board. And the security situation is highly dynamic. The Director General of Maritime Administration has issued an advisory of a high state of alert and also advising that unless completely unavoidable, sign-ons to vessels which are in the Persian Gulf to be refrained from, although this is not a blanket ban, as crew changes and transit in whichever manner, giving priority to the security and safety of the seafarers on board is admissible, is what we are advocating.
Mr. Jagannathan, since it's a fluid situation and you mentioned the latest attack on these tankers, could you share more information about the number of Indian crew members that are on these vessels? Any information with regards to their safety?
Presently, we are coordinating with the Indian naval authorities and also with the MRCC Oman for these 3 specific vessels. And I will be able to only give specific detail on these vessels subsequent to the rescue and relief operations. As of now, our primary information is the efforts for rescue and for relief operations are on to secure the safety of the seafarers. And the vessels have been critically damaged. And the only light at the end of the tunnel is there have been no reported casualties as of now. Although this remains a highly dynamic situation, and I will be constrained to give any further information thereof.
Sure, appreciate whatever you've shared. So what steps are being taken by the DGMA in coordination with the Ministry of External Affairs, the Indian Navy and the IFC IOR to evacuate or even secure a safe passage for Indian seafarers and vessels if the situation deteriorates further?
And the mandate from the Government of India, from the highest officers, is very specific. It is that the priority is the safety and security of the seafarers. The IFCOR is keeping a very close watch on the total number of vessels which are presently in the Strait of Hormuz. Coordination by the naval authorities as well as the Ministry of External Affairs on ground to ensure in any manner the prioritization of the safety and to prevent any such incident which may adversely impinge on the safety and security of seafarers while ensuring a safe transit is the mandate that we are essentially following. Since the outbreak of the escalation of the conflict in the specific area, we have successfully evacuated more than 3,400 odd seafarers in a continuous manner. Multiple advisories have been issued to seafarers. The Directorate General of Maritime Administration, under the directions of the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, has duly commissioned a 24/7 helpline which is continuously in touch with the seafarers, the masters of the vessels, the ship management, and also with the next of kin of the seafarers who are on board these vessels. We also have a counselor, and utmost efforts are being made to ensure everyone's safe return.
Mr. Jagannathan, there's also a lot of confusion with regards to the figures surrounding the number of Indian seafarers who've died in the attacks and versus the number that's missing. Could you, for the benefit of our viewers, also shed more light on that?
Ma'am, the total compilation of the reported cases as of now is of a total of 10 fatalities with one presumed death, which are on multiple incidents starting from the 1st of March onwards till the latest being the 14th of July. These lists are basically available with the government. All the next of kin have been contacted, except for one missing case where it is presumed as a fatality because of the non-recovery of the mortal remains. All efforts have been made to secure the repatriation of the mortal remains in the cases that fatalities have occurred, and the compensation to the next of kin from the Seafarers Welfare Fund Society for an amount of rupees 10 lakhs, and also as a gesture from the two foremost maritime unions in the country, the Maritime Union of India and the National Seafarers Union of India, an additional matching amount of 10 lakhs has been provisioned. This is apart from the protection and indemnity cover, which takes a due process, and we are expediting to the utmost because it requires three prerequisite elements. The first is the flag state investigation report. The second is the MRCC proceedings, that is basically for the maritime rescue coordination. And the third is the PDC, or the presumed death certificate, in case of the non-location of the mortal remains. Based on these three, the eligible claim for the third-party liability and for the war risk under the P&I is covered for the concerned seafarer.
Sure.
This is the factual position now.
Since there's already an advisory issued by the DGMA to the ship owners and RPSL companies regarding routing, insurance, even crew changes for vessels that are operating in the Persian Gulf, would you underscore certain aspects of that advisory for the benefit of our viewers? Also, until when do you expect these restrictions to remain? I know you just highlighted how dynamic and fluid the situation is, but could you give us some idea?
Ma'am, the advisory firstly is not a blanket ban. It is threefold. The first is any seafarer being onboarded onto any vessel as a crew change to be done as only when there is a very pressing requirement, because some of the vessels have been there for a prolonged period of time, have issues with supplies, have issues basically with fatigue with the existing crew. So these are being coordinated in a high state of alert with the ship management and also with the crew on board. There is no blanket ban on not signing on these vessels. However, alert and caution has been exercised and restrictions have been requested, since the priority of a seafarer's safety of life and limb and also safe evacuation is not assured. The second part of the advisory is to essentially coordinate with the Indian embassies and with the Ministry of External Affairs, which is extending all the support for safe transit if feasible, or else to essentially await further instructions. The Indian Navy is providing advisories on navigations and also handholding the master and the crew in the safe transit of the vessels in the transit routes that are specified. These are the three elements which are there essentially in the Directorate General of Maritime Administration advisory which has been issued now.
Yeah. Sir, has DGMA activated any dedicated 24/7 monitoring or assistance cell for families of seafarers? How can seafarers and families reach the DGMA for urgent help?
Ma'am, I'm grateful for this question. The DGMA has a 24/7 grievance redressal portal. Through the channel, I would seek to put out the numbers. The domestic toll-free helpline is 1-800-889-7768. The international toll-free helpline based in the US is +1-888-988-0256. We have 24/7 WhatsApp support on an Indian number +91-8655-856830. There's a dedicated email, enavik.24x7@gov.in. We have also done extensive outreach on the social media and on individual mass messages to the seafarers, as the DGMA has their credentials in terms of email and mobile numbers for any matter. There are two specific officials who are to be contacted in case of extreme emergency. One is the Deputy Director General Casualty, who's Captain Harinder Singh. And these I would request, when we pass it on to you, if you can kindly give it whatever publicity is possible from your channel, please.
Right. We'll ensure that we put those numbers out there as well for our viewers. My last question, beyond any immediate rescue, what measures is DGMA putting in place with RPSL companies to ensure seafarers do better due diligence on vessel routes, company reputation and welfare practices, so they don't take risky contracts out of desperation? Remember, we've seen a number of incidents that also highlight that this is also becoming a worry.
Ma'am, there is always this very minimal element of people who would want to gain from this kind of a situation. So I strongly urge my seafarer brothers and sisters not to go for fly-by-night operators who are unlicensed, offering thrice or four times the wages due to the service contract being ostensibly offered in a conflict zone. We have the approved list of the recruitment placement service licensees on our website, the 24/7 grievance helpline, my personal numbers, my additional Director General's personal numbers, and also the Deputy Director General crew's personal numbers are available. All seafarers are welcome to validate prior to any sign-on or acceptance of any contractual employment on board any vessel in the Persian Gulf. Secondly, we have taken up an extensive sensitization campaign with the RPSLs to ensure that the credentials of the vessel, the ship management company on which our seafarers are signing on, are verified, validated, and also updated on the DGMA portal.
All right. Many thanks to you, Mr. Jagannathan, for taking out your precious time and for sharing those very invaluable insights and information that is going to not just benefit our viewers, particularly all these families who are currently so worried, and in these desperate times, this information is going to prove to be very, very useful. Many thanks to you, Mr. Shyam Jagannathan.
Thank you.